for Maya. Following the praise statement of High Representative on Kosovo violating CEFTA agreement, this statement has been heavily criticized in Kosovo from the members of the government, MEPs, and also former ambassadors, saying that she's one-sided, never criticizing Serbia while violating agreements in the context of normalization of relations with Kosovo, but only criticizing in Kosovo. What do you have to say to that? Thanks.
In a nutshell, I don't think that is correct, and since I know you have been following the developments very closely, I have no doubt that you are aware of that. I think it's true that the statement last night has made it clear that we expect the Kosovo government to revoke the measure that has been announced. This is not news. We had the same thing and reacted in the same way when the initial raise or increase of 10% was announced last week. So the message here is consistent. It's clear. We've been very clear why we think that, because it's a violation of CEFTA agreement. It's not in the spirit of the stabilization and association agreement. But more generally speaking, and this we have made clear again in many statements, in many reactions, in many conversations that we have, is that both Serbia and Kosovo have expressed on many occasions the grievances about their relations. We've made very clear that they should be addressed through the dialogue which the European Union is committed to continue to facilitate. And we believe, and this is also a message that cannot come as a surprise to you, that recent actions, measures, statement from Kosovo and Serbia that are perceived by the other side as provocative and insulting are disconcerting and are not conducive to the dialogue and the normalization of relations. They also undermine all the work that both sides have done over the years in the dialogue. And you know that the progress in the dialogue in this sense is linked to their relationship with the European Union, also because it can effectively improve the lives of the people. And therefore we call on the two leaderships to bring to an immediate end these provocations and focus on completing the normalization of relations without further preconditions. I think that is very clear.
This is clear there, but it's not clear there.
Do you consider provocation even oral statements by certain politicians, specifically Serbian Minister of Foreign Affairs, who directly insults Austrian Chancellor and his surname and uses that as a triumph for the Interpol battle?
I think that our appeal clearly covers words as well.
Agustin?
Thank you. Maya, we understand the political message, but as far as I know, European Union is not a member of CEFTA. What gives authority to Mrs. Mogherini to be an arbiter and say what is the violation of CEFTA agreement if EU is not a member of CEFTA, and CEFTA has a dispute settlement mechanism? We haven't seen so far any CEFTA body claiming that this is violation. We suppose that it is or it is not, but why EU is interfering in such an issue? And is this pressure by prejudging the eventual outcome of a dispute between members of CEFTA, which member European Union is not? I mean, EU refuses to make its position when it comes to organization such as Interpol. You said that it's up to member states of such organization to decide and not to EU, while here you interfere saying that something is violation of CEFTA. Thanks.
So you know that the whole Western Balkans, the whole region of Western Balkans has a clear European perspective. the European Union monitors the fulfillment of all obligations, of all regional obligations that have been taken by the partners in the region. CEFTA is a cornerstone of the regional cooperation in the Western Balkans. It's a key part of the regional economic area, and it's also covered by different stabilization and association agreements. We've made the position clear, and we expect that CEFTA Secretariat and all sides will take the necessary measures to ensure that the agreement will be respected in full. The grievances, and there are grievances which we understand have been addressed on a number of occasions, including through regular exchanges that Commissioner Hahn has with the prime ministers of the Western Balkans on regional economic integration issues. It is also an issue that was raised at the Western Balkan Summit in Trieste, which was over a year and a half ago, that also mandated CEFTA at the time to report on the current obstacles and breaches in this sense, and we hope that this report will indeed be finalized soon. So it is not that we don't recognize that there are problems, we do, but simply the way, the reaction, the way to do it, the way that Kosovo government has reacted in this context is simply not the right way. So there are ways there to resolve these issues, and we should use these channels. That's why they are there.
Follow up.
Okay, yeah, we understand this, Maya, but the question was from legal point. Maybe you had a report from Secretariat of CEFTA that this is violation, but we haven't seen their statement saying this. My question is Madame Mogherini or Commissioner Hahn authorized to speak on behalf of mechanisms within CEFTA what is violation of the agreement, what is not? Did you have a report from them claiming that this is a violation or not?
As I said, we as the European Union monitor the fulfillment of all regional obligations that have been taken by the partners in the region for obvious reasons. And monitoring of CEFTA agreements is part of them because it is intrinsically linked to the initiatives like stabilization and association agreement, like regional economic area. And these are all the tools and mechanisms that are actually designed to support the region, to bring it closer to the European Union, and to ensure that there are economic benefits stemming out of it that actually help the region and improve the economic situation in the region. So I think this is very clear, and you have been following this process. You know very well the complexity of the also legal agreements that are there in place, but the overarching one is the European perspective for the region, and in this context we, as I said, monitor all the commitments that have been undertaken by the region with a clear European perspective.
Okay, someone who hasn't spoken yet. Yes, for Maya, I suppose. No, let's see Maya.
Maya.
Yes, yes, please. The gentleman who hasn't spoken yet. Yes, go ahead.
I'm Virtus Gazaferi from Deutsche Welle. I have met the CEFTA Secretariat Director, and I have thoroughly discussed with him, and there is no decision in CEFTA or CEFTA body that says that 10% tax or 100% tax is in violation with CEFTA. The only two bodies saying this is Ms. Mogherini and Mr. Vucic. And the only mechanism to solve this is the CEFTA mechanisms. Serbia has decided not to go in Pristina to participate in CEFTA meetings. Are you going to call Serbia specifically to go back in the table in CEFTA mechanisms in Pristina in beginning of December to discuss these issues? Or are you going to allow Serbia to not to participate in CEFTA until Kosovo changes its mind? Thanks.
So I think you are aware that fundamental principles of the European perspective for the region is based on reconciliation, regional cooperation, and good neighborly relations. They lead the work that is being done with the Western Balkan partners. It is a commitment that has been made by all of them. And yes, we expect that they will be respected at any time. And that's why the message that I passed on when it comes to the two leaderships, so the Serbia and Kosovo, is very clear, that we expect that commitments will be respected, that any provocations will be avoided, and that the two sides will continue to work towards the normalization of relations, because this is not only in the interest of the two sides, it's in the interest of the people, it's in the interest of the region, and it's in the interest of Europe at large. So I think the message here is very, very clear.
Let me leave it there, because I have Commissioner Andriukaitis coming and I don't want to make him wait. I'm sure that Maya can bilaterally expand more. I think we covered most of it. Is there anything else we need to cover today? I don't see anything else. Then I'll see you tomorrow.